hear you, but I'll be doing something else.
Okay. You won't see it if you don't watch me.
Okay, well, I'll watch you. We're live, actually. So, Scott,
Oh, are we? Okay.
yeah, we're live. Okay, I'll
Okay.
watch you. I'll watch you.
So well, you could watch it later. By the way, it's storming outside here. So,
I
uh,
thought I saw a lightning flash.
yeah, it's raining pretty hard up here. So I was reading before I left for New Jersey. I was reading a Will Eisner book I have about interviews, and he was interviewing Neil Adams, and Neil Adams
Uh-huh.
was talking about working at Johnson and Cushing, I think is the name. Do you know what that is?
Johnson and Cushing. No, I don't. What is that?
It was a organization or a company that all their job was is they provided art for people that needed art.
That's it, huh?
So
Okay.
yeah, so when I was in school, I went to an art school here in Oklahoma City. It was Platt College, which is like literal. It's like a technical school basically, but it was college, but we didn't go to history or anything like that. We we just did this technical stuff, and
Uh-huh.
our instructor had grew up in Chicago, and he worked for a company that's what they did. I forget what he called it, but it was a place that all they did was if you needed art drawn, you called them up and they do art. It could be package art, whatever. Now this is pre-computer day, so like one
Uh-huh.
of the things he did was he did an illustration of a log cabin that was on the old oh god, what's the name of it? There was a chili brand that had a chili mix, not like canned chili,
Hmm.
and they had a log cabin on there. He had drawn that log cabin. Anyway, Johnson Cushing did that. Neil Adams worked there for a while. Somehow, through the course of that, I ran across this Tom Sawyer guy, and I somehow looking on Amazon, I found this book. There's a guy named, I think his name is Fing Pang. Have you ever seen his website or his blog? He
Fing
does a
Pang.
I think that's his name. Leaf Pang. Sorry,
Leaf Pang.
Peng. Yeah, he's like Swedish or something, and he does a blog about classic illustrators. He does a lot of comic stuff, and he wrote this book with the artist named Tom Sawyer. This was
Uh-huh.
something he did.
And that
And
guy is still alive from this
no, he
golden
passed away like
era. Oh,
no, he passed away in like 2018, I think.
okay.
But I think he's passed away. It seems like I read that. But anyway, I say all that to say I love this kind of classic spot illustration
Oh,
stuff.
I do too.
This is
This is the stuff when you it's very close to Toth. It's very close to I mean they're you have to
yeah. I mean,
really have it figured out to look like these guys look.
well, and the money. I mean, okay. So this Tom Sawyer guy, started off in comics. So it's got some
Hmm.
of his comic stuff, and I'll kind of skip over that. Uh, but I mean, it's nice looking stuff.
Yeah, and they went to him as one of the go-to guy for the big seller of romance comics. Obviously, because he does such solid, good, appealing figures
Well,
that are natural
Stanley
and
wanted him to draw, but he did not want to draw superheroes. He specifically avoided superheroes because he wanted to draw this kind of stuff, like that.
hmm yeah.
Um, so that's how he ended up in romance comics. And then he went to Johnson and Cushing, which is kind of an art service. That's what they called it. I'll read this first bit. Johnson Cushing was in the Madman era key art service for the major advertising agencies. So
For pitching, doing pitches, yeah.
yeah, well, a lot of this is ads. I mean,
Mm.
but he did some pitches. I mean, just whatever they needed.
Hmm.
So anyway, so
Very cool. Yeah, I can
but
hear
this
that
book
rumbling out
has
there.
oh yeah, this book has tons of art in it.
Great stuff. I'd love to have that book. The book is the kind of book that, I associate with you. You do too. Of the examples that were in the texts we were using. When we
Oh,
were in
just wait.
school.
Oh, just wait. I haven't even
Okay.
got to the that stuff.
Okay.
So then he went and he did a syndicated strip.
Uh huh.
He did The Heart of Juliet Jones. He
Wow.
tried a couple. And apparently he ghosted Rip Kirby.
Well,
Um,
that's a big one. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it was started by Alex Raymond, I believe.
Yeah. Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
so it's got some of his, and it's got some of his pencil roughs for the strips. Let's see, advertising. So then he does some advertising. It kind of follows his career chronologically. He does all these pictures for advertising.
Yeah.
You know,
Which to me that looks just like the Darwin Cook stuff for his Parker stuff.
oh
That
yeah,
they'll have one color
yeah,
strong.
the duotone or whatever
Yeah,
they
yeah.
call it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so when we were in Florida a couple of years ago, I bought a book, and it was kind of like a Hardy Boys book, but it had some girl in it, and all
Uh-huh.
the illustrations were like. And I bought it because it had a dozen illustrations in it. I thought they were great. Uh, anyway, and I love this stuff. Just more advertising. Um, oh, storyboard. Here's the storyboards. It is
Uh-huh.
storyboards. Okay, this is kind of where I was familiar with this guy without even knowing about it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Some guy in New Jersey had this idea of doing clip art books, and I
Right.
remember these when we worked at the newspaper. When I worked at
Oh
the
yeah.
newspaper, we would get these,
I worked
and
at
it was
OPubco. We had huge volumes of clip art. Had to use them
oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And so what you would do is if you ran a newspaper or whatever, if you needed clip art, you would subscribe and you would get these, and you could cut them out and use them however you want to.
Hmm.
Look at that! Look at that picture of the cop. I love that
Yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Anyway, so that you'd get them, and I looked on eBay, and you could buy these books, but man, they're expensive.
I
They're not
bet.
real thick. It was only a dozen pages a month, but
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of like a service. Here's your
yeah,
new.
yeah, yeah. Here's your fall clip art.
Yeah.
But so when I started at my job, they had assembled kind of a morgue file, and it was clip art. And so I would see a lot of this stuff. I didn't really see it until then, but they had notebooks full of this kind of stuff, and I just thought
Hmm.
it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Um,
Ours were big, leather bound, and had those those spines that were big old
like the metal where you flip
bolts.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I thought this book was great. Well, somewhere in here it says he was drawing happy people with happy problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Like keep that spacecraft in space. Yeah. Right
Yeah.
there.
Anyway, obviously this is some kind of banking thing. He shows a lot of his pencil roughs. He talks a little bit about some of his technique. He would work. He'd do a rough, and then he put it on autograph and trace it on illustration board.
Wow.
And well, because
Yeah. It
his
had to
thing
be
was if you didn't
clean.
like
Yeah.
it, yeah, it had to be clean. And he would do. It talked about using like grease pen, anything that could reproduce. He would use.
Hmm.
So he used like Wolf carbon pencils a lot.
Wolf carbon pencils. That's a new name to me. I'm not sure what that
Oh,
would
you've
look
never heard
like.
of Wolf pencils?
Uh-uh.
Shit, I may have one here. I know I've got some. Here's a General's carbon pencil. It's just a
Okay.
real dark black. The Wolf ones have a wood grain. This one's painted orange. I know I've got some. They're hard to find now, but I find them at art supply places. I mean, I don't think they've stopped making them. It's just there's not a big call for them.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a grease pencil. You
Okay.
use a grease pencil,
Oh, sure.
which may be what this is. you know, and some of it is obviously on textured board.
And of course and that goes back to I associate a good grease pencil look to that art for Ripley's. Believe it or not,
Oh yeah,
he always used that for his halftones. It's that
yeah. This
cool
is.
looking.
I don't know if this is a grease pencil or a carbon pencil or what, but
Hey, I just did a sound check, and it sounds like we might be about equal on our
all
sounds.
right,
So that's good. So I
that
guess I
is good.
figured that out. Okay.
That's good. I wish I could zoom out a little bit. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can.
But you know what? It's kind of stupid of me. Why don't we give you the whole screen? How about that?
You can do that if you'd like.
Let me figure it out. There we go. Oh my goodness. I've just got so many boomer issues.
So what'd you do today, Ellis?
Oh, it was I've been having some good days in terms of productivity. I guess I'm really stimulated by the fact I've made my first $100 in
Oh yeah,
for having a YouTube channel. Not this channel, as a matter of fact. Don't have enough people on this one. Don't have enough stuff with eyes on it. But my other channel is doing well.
So this reminds me, we Michelle and I shop at Crest,
Uh-huh.
and the which is a local grocery store for anybody that's out of town. But they have in the meat market they have it's a plastic bag, but it's got a red and white illustration of a butcher on it, which I really
Uh-huh.
like. So
Well,
I don't know.
that's the deal. This art right here can show up today, and if
Sure.
somebody just decides, you know what, we just need something kind of generic and nice and clean, and shoot, this might show. It might be for a laugh that it shows up. Someone being what do you call it, meta or
Well,
something, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because people don't really dress like this a
yeah,
lot
not anymore. And they don't look like that.
nowadays.
Don't
Look
have
at
those
this.
haircuts.
Look at this. Is any of this? I mean, look, a photo enlarger. When's the last time you
Yeah,
saw a
yeah,
photo
yeah.
enlarger or a large format camera
You might
or
cut paper. You
yeah, you
might,
might
yeah,
cut paper.
he's slicing paper into it, looks like.
Yeah, I can see that showing up in an illustration of or like a manual for a big paper cutter.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the one for the cover, and this is him. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's Leonard Starr. He took a picture of Leonard Starr as a
Where's
reference.
his ref? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a picture of him as a postman.
Huh. He's leaving nothing to, he's
I don't know.
obviously, because of his realism, he's got to have his photo ref.
Dude,
Yeah.
if someone reads the what's the series, the artist, the three big books that you can, the art school,
Uh-huh.
famous
Oh,
art
yeah.
school,
Famous artist, yeah.
that ties right into this, man.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just this is, and when I went to school, this is the kind of stuff I hope to end up doing.
Well, it comes
You know,
forward to the extent that you can have that style with, and it'll add a little more drama to it. And you've got Sean Phillips that does all the Brubaker books.
yeah.
It's very like that.
Well,
He,
I get the impression from this dude, he made way more money than any comic book people
oh
I
yeah,
know.
that's the deal. Yeah, I'll mention that the fact that why is he doing all that? He could be doing a ton of comic books.
Yeah,
No, he didn't want to be
he
doing a
was
ton of
doing
comic books.
comics.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like Fooey on that.
yeah.
He was Stan Lee wanted to do superhero comics. He said, "Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do romance," because he knew if he could draw pretty girls, that he
Mm-hmm.
could get a job doing He was,
Very
all those guys were trying to get advertising
smart
for
man. He's a smart.
Bushima worked in. I think it's Bushima that worked in advertising, and Stan Lee lured him back. You know, and then
Oh,
for a while,
yeah.
I think Bushima was doing advertising and comics. Here's his wife. He used his wife.
Which one is his wife? The dark haired one? Okay.
That girl. Yeah, that girl. Oh, I don't
Okay.
know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Betty Starr, which I assume is Leonard Starr's wife. Apparently, they were
Uh-huh.
studio mates at this point.
Uh-huh. How
Dude,
about
I think
that?
we had this in our clip art book.
Every one of them feels like I've seen it. I would page through those art files looking for the perfect thing for when I was a layout artist, and that went down to the actual people that did the assembly
Oh yeah.
on the page. But
Oh, this.
I would use the original. I mean, I would use the art they would be either photographing or whatever. Sometimes I think the art would come back to us. This wasn't just thrown away. We would sometimes put it back
Reuse.
in the paper, yeah,
Oh yeah.
in the booklet.
Yeah, I don't know what it cost, but I get the impression it was not necessarily cheap.
Yeah, we had a lot of this stuff. We of course, the Yellow Page ads would use this kind of stuff too. Yeah. Look at
What
that!
year did you?
Look how he handles the jaw on that guy on the left there,
Oh
with
yeah, just
those strokes of the grease pencil. Yeah, cool.
yeah, just
Turning an edge. Yeah.
what years did you work at the phone company
Well,
doing the
let's
phone
see,
books?
from 75 to like 80, something like that.
Oh, okay. Because at one point, my aunt tried to get me a job doing that. They were looking for somebody. The phone company was looking for an artist, and I assume it was for phone books.
Uh-huh.
Did not get very far, obviously, since I never did it. I
Yeah.
never pursued it. I, you know. And then after this,
Switching careers.
at the age of 30, I think it's the age of 30, he became a director.
I'll be damned, huh?
So, yep. Anyway, that's the talk. The book is great. It's has kind of a print on demand feel, so it's not the best quality book. It's hardcover though.
Yeah, that's the
Plus,
deal. It looks like it's, so you're saying the paper could be better, huh? The paper on the inside.
well, like at the back, it's kind of got some wrinkles.
Okay.
Most of it's pretty good, but it's kind of got a little bit of
Yeah, I can
wrinkly.
see that. Yeah, we can see that, the shadows on it.
Yeah,
You said
but
several things that made me almost mention it, but about I'm listening to the Robert Crumb now. I'm on disc 2,
oh
and
yeah,
about from that era, about some of the stuff Crumb was being exposed to and
oh yeah,
influenced by. Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah.
the fact the comics that he wasn't attracted to, the superhero comics. He was attracted to the Dell comics,
Yep, the
which
animal
weirdly
stuff.
enough still have a link to the guy that mainly was his influence, which was Gaines doing Mad, and it's fascinating stuff that I recommend. I can tell right now from just listening to the narration that anybody could enjoy listening to that Crumb story. It's very much a cool history of the time.
Yeah, he's kind of a messed up dude. I mean,
He is very messed up.
his family
Yeah.
is extremely dysfunctional.
I couldn't get over because I didn't get this impression from from the film Crumb that his dad was awesome. I mean, he was like in Saipan. I mean, the guy
Mm-hmm.
was a real damn
Yep.
marine loving being in the country. He couldn't have been more of a straight arrow kind of guy. And I got the impression from the film that he was more like an unhappy guy that had been forced into a life of being a dullard and having to have a smile plastered on his face at all time by being like just a retail salesman or something. It's like, no, he stayed in the Marines as long as he could, got his 20 in, or beyond it, probably well beyond it. I don't know, but and was as in the thick of it as you could ever get in World War II.
Yeah.
Wanted to go to Korea, You know,
Oh yeah.
his dad was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it just goes to
But
show you, it's like you can have somebody that is on that level is awesome, but you know, if your wife, for whatever reason, you can't make the wife happy, or she's got something wrong with her where she can't be happy,
oh yeah.
all of a sudden, you know, things just fly to pieces. You know, of course, I guess he tried to be okay to with raising the kids, but I got to feel like most of the unhinged things that happen to the Crumb family probably come about because the mother is just not
Yeah.
capable of being on an even keel. You know.
Yeah. It seemed like mom was a little bonkers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, shock treatments, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's. I mean, and obviously, I mean, none of the kids in that family are normal. Well, maybe the daughter that refused to be, or the sister that refused to go
Work on
along with any
the
of this.
work on the comics, yeah, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. She's like, nope, I'm not working on your
I'm
comics,
done. I'm
Charles.
out. That Charles, of course, for him to end up being the guy that is one of the most messed up. You know, I mean, obviously the little brother is probably the most messed up one, where he's
Yeah,
just
the one that's
assaulting people.
well, and he's the one that's homeless. She's still
Yeah.
alive, I think.
Boy.
Homeless and begs for money and lives in some sort of home. You know, I mean, it's sad that people end up like that,
Yeah.
but I mean, just an odd family. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
Crumb is lucky that he found comics because I guess he's lucky. I think, and I think he says this later in the book that he's fortunate that his brother forced him to draw.
Forced him to into a discipline. Yeah, his little New York trip. That's what I'm on right now. Is where he gets you know, through the courtesy of this guy that wrote Ricochet for some sort of syndicate, some sort of Western comedy, you know, cowboy thing. But he got exposed to what it takes as a disciplined syndicate artist. He said, you know, this guy works 10 hours a day and just basically never stops, you know. So he he didn't have any illusions about after that visit, and he was only I think he's only about he might have been about 15, I guess, when he makes that little trip, but not too old, and so you know which is another one of those things. It's when you can see it being done, the first thing you realize, hey, this is doable. For up
Well, I
until
think
that
that
point, it's like a mystery, you know.
yeah, I think that probably the thing that uh, helped Crumb or whatever that got him on a normal path was getting that job. It was it American Greetings or Hallmark he
I
worked
haven't
at.
got that far yet, except it kind of begins with that for whatever reason. They decided to
What?
mention that
Oh yeah.
at the
Well, that
Hallmark.
allows him to. I mean, apparently they really liked him there because they bent over backwards for him.
I honestly have a serious. I'm not just making this up. I remember Crumb artwork on cards in that period when he must have been producing them.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was kind of cool. I sure wish I'd bought a couple, but
Yeah, and if you've
they
ever looked,
were they were grotesque, you know, and that was the
yeah,
what was cool about them was they stood out, you know. It's like and they were funny, you know. The talent to draw funny is like, oh, give me that any day. Versus what I've got, I don't draw. I try to draw kind of funny, but it's beyond me in terms of like really uh, putting that into a drawing. You know, making that getting that
that
Gary Law or
humorous
some kind of
turn.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I'll tell you a story. I so every year I have a calendar here at the house. I have one at work on my desk, like one of those, and the one on my desk is one of those page a day calendars.
Uh huh.
And a couple of years ago, I started getting Marvel ones, and I liked them because they used like Bronze Age house style kind of art. And the last year I got one, and it was more modern, and I hated Ellis. They put so little thought into that stupid calendar, and so I was at the store, and there's a Far Side calendar, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get a Far Side calendar. I get a cartoon every day.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and make you laugh every day too.
And
Most
apparently
most
the
of
Far Side calendars, they've done them for years. I didn't realize that. The Page a Day people have done a Far Side calendar for. I mean, when the strip was running, they were doing them.
oh yeah, those things I remember those being talk about spanning the time. I remember those being pinned up when I did work for OPubco. Good Lord, that must have been back in had to be 80. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, what? Do you think Far Side's been around since '80?
Oh yeah, I think so. It must be. Let me see. I'll check.
Look it
You
up.
know, first Far Side cartoon. I'll use that as my search.
There you go.
First, I'll use the other computer too, so I don't get my way over there.
Kick us off.
Yeah. Cartoon year. I'll have to type year.
Yep.
Ah, there we go. I think so.
What?
When did the? Yep. How about that? January 1980. As much 1980 as you can be. Starting 1980. I'm there.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Wow, it's older than I thought it was. I thought it was a mid '80s thing.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we're getting this storm that you were talking about, huh? Rolling down on top of us, coming from the north.
Probably. You know what I've been doing lately? A little bit of, Ellis?
What's that?
I've been drawing my left hand.
Oh, cool. Did you have something that caused the need for that, or you're just wanting to expand your brain?
I have no need of drawing it, and it's very slow, and rough. I mean, it's not anything I would do for a comic or anything. But
It forces a thinking that you don't know. I'll draw with my left hand, see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. I bet you'd be good at it.
No, I bet I'm not.
Now, watch. Plot twist. Ellis is already left-handed.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. But I am left-handed.
Yeah, you didn't know it. That would be
that is my secret. I have a secret too. I am left-handed.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't even know. Your parents forced you into right-handedness.
Oh, I've tried to do it. The deal is, I have to be a lot of dots and dashes and stuff like that. I'll find my way.
You can. I think you could do it with practice. I mean, I messed with it for about an hour the other day and got a couple of decent faces out of it. It's weird because arcs, you're used to moving your hand a certain way, and it's like,
right.
My hand doesn't go that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's not impossible.
This is what drove, of course, Frazetta to becoming a photographer. You know, it's like,
oh, you mean after he had a stroke?
Yeah, after he had a stroke.
Well, you couldn't paint left-handed?
I don't think he took it on too much after a certain point.
He did some paintings that were left-handed. A couple of the death dealers are left-handed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that basically the declaration he can do anything would apply to Frazetta.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the kind of guy that'd be like, yep, I can do. Well, of course I can do that.
Of course I can do that.
What's the problem?
I've got it on Tubi in the, I want to see this, the, drawing with fire or painting with fire. I got to get around to watching that again because I've seen it before.
Dude, let me tell you my watching thing. This is frustrating for
What have
me.
you been doing?
Well, I've been watching. I decided I wanted to watch The Outer Limits.
Uh-huh.
So I went to OFCON and
Uh-huh.
I saw the Marshall Rogers adaptation of The Demon with the Glass Hand. I did not immediately buy it, but I almost did. So when Dave went the next day, I said, "Hey, if you see that it's still there, buy it for me." And I told him where it was, how much he wanted for it, and he got it. In fact, he talked the guy down $5.
Huh.
And well, in the meantime, I said, I've never seen The Outer Limits. I'm gonna watch The Outer Limits. So I looked on YouTube, and there's all these Outer Limits, and I was like, oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, this is great. So I was watching. I said, well, I'm gonna watch them all in order.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's an order, but just to make sure I get them all. And last night I went to watch them. There were none, and I was like, where? I had no problem finding
Copyright strike. Yeah.
Maybe so, I guess so, but there were tons of them. Anyway, they are on Tubi though, so I watched Soldier last night.
Oh, that's a good one. One of the best
The
ones.
other,
Yeah,
the other
the
Harlan
Ellison.
Ellison.
Yeah.
The other one, there's two Harlan Ellisons. One of which, of course, is Demon with the Glass Hand, and the other one, which is Soldier.
Yep. Soldier, and yeah, I guess that's all he did was two.
Yep, did the two.
Which he got to. Only he would do it though. Most people would say, "Well, look at Hollywood. You just can't win with these guys." He saw Terminator and he decided he needed a piece of that because that was close.
Yeah,
It was close enough to Soldier.
I would say. What's funny is I was reading an interview and he said people always say I sued for Demon in a Glass Hand, but it was Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Demon in a Glass Hand is nothing like Terminator.
Oh no.
I mean, it's got a little bit of time travel, and the guy is a robot. Plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but they're not. It's not really like Soldier is like the guy. Soldier gets travels through time. You know, it's like it's an accident, but still.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't have a kill Sarah Connor kind of purpose, but he does have a. He has another guy that's come with him in time that will end up being somebody that is his showdown kind of guy that has to deal with. But in fact, it's like it's not got much to do with Terminator, what Cameron ultimately did.
The court would disagree with you.
Yeah, I know. I guess they let him have a credit anyway. I'm not sure how much money they maybe gave him, but
undisclosed. They gave
undisclosed.
Cash, though.
Well,
the thing I read said it was undisclosed.
There was an old advertising guy named R.O. Blackman that did a real squiggly style, and that is what I do with my left hand. Apparently, I got a good silhouette.
Yeah.
There's my.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl.
My cowboy.
Let me get a.
It's tough. None of the lines went where I wanted them to go.
Yeah, let's see. I'll do a cowboy. I'll embarrass myself too.
I've done 2 cowboys and 1 judoka. Guy ready to, or sumo maybe. Sumo with a gi. They don't do sumo with a gi.
No, sumo wear the little underwear.
But yeah, basically hardly anything. Those matches are fun to watch because it's like, they're all lining up. It's all prep, all ceremony. And then it's like, it's over in like 2 seconds. Splat! They spring up and hit each other.
I've never seen a sumo match.
They're fascinating. Oh my gosh. They stomp. They do a couple stomps. They throw a lot of salt around in the air before they get there. I guess it's
for good luck.
Yeah, good luck. And
good whatever.
And It's pretty cool because sometimes it's really surprising how well a little guy compared to in terms of like they'll have mismatched weight classes face off against each other, and sometimes the little guy, if he gets real busy, he can do his thing. Mainly, basically, if you get out of the ring, you've lost. If you go down, you've lost, and that's pretty much the two ways to lose. So that's all you're after. You want to trip the guy, throw him, hip throw him, do something, get him out of the ring. That's the big thing, is to just rush a guy, and by sheer force, just force him out the other side of the ring, pick him up by that diaper, and yank him around if you can get a good hold. And of course, you get fights for grips. That's the boring thing about judo, is they'll have big fights for just getting the best grip. That will go on and on. It's actually kind of the death of popular judo, I think. Judo, it always struck me as like, hey, the Olympics, the judo matches ought to be out there a little better. Because, I'm always watching the highlight reels. It's like, oh, boy, judo is just about the best thing going. But then you get away from the highlight reels.
Yeah,
everybody's just...
do the tactics.
Yeah. What have I been watching? I watched Fellini's...
9.5, 8.5.
No, what's the other one? Le Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita, The Sweet Life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you hadn't seen that.
I have not. Yeah, it was kind of cool, and it threw me because it was so long. So I jumped ahead and watched the end.
Oh my gosh!
And then, well, that's the deal. I didn't realize what I was looking at, how good it was. So I watched the first maybe half of it, jumped ahead to the end, and then I did a grok big summary of it. And I said, I got to go back I got to go back for the rest of this. After I looked at the story, and then I watched the rest of it out of order.
Oh yeah, the guy's searching for meaning in life.
Yes, it's very good. It's a very good film.
It's a good film. It's a little challenging to.
Well, it's challenging just because it's 3 hours for a modern audience and someone with my hummingbird attention span anymore that I've got developed.
It's phones. Phones have done it to you. And the internet.
The internet.
That's why I try and force myself to read books.
Yes, well, that's the deal. It's like that is the solution to all of it, is to use the brain in a non-internet way. That's all it takes to fix everything. If you've got an atrophied muscle, you need to be exercising it.
Work it out. This is really terrible.
I think that's pretty good for the left hand. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good exercise. I'd like to get decent at it.
Left Hand of Darkness. What is that? What is the Left Hand of Darkness? That's Ursula Le Guin. I've actually read it, come to think of it.
Never read it.
I think that's the one
Too
where
long.
I think it's on an ice planet. I'm going to look it up. Left Hand of Darkness. She has a book on writing called Steering the Craft, which I also read, which I thought, yeah, give me a summation. Groundbreaking. Oh, yep. It's on winter.
Do it for you.
It's on winter.
Do it for you.
I wish I could always get Grok working for me. I've got this old OS on this one I like to still use that it doesn't run Grok anymore. So I have to open up the new one to use Grok.
Wait, how is that? Grok is not on your computer. It's on the web, right?
It is only on X as far as I know.
Mm.
Yeah, Grok is
So your computer won't
root.
run X, is what you're telling me.
It will run X, but it won't run Grok.
Mm.
I don't,
You ever drink ice water?
but my new computer runs Grok. If I absolutely need some Grok, what's cool about Grok is like I can.
You don't need any Grok.
Oh, I need Grok. Uh, like I did a page full of notes, and it will type them for you. Give it
Oh yeah.
give it a scan. All of a sudden, you don't have to type. A
Oh
bunch
yeah.
of.
I do like text to speech. Not really
Mhm.
with AI, but I do like it.
Kaboom! We're getting. I hope it doesn't rain too much. I don't want to do any more lawn mowing. I want that to be over for the season.
Oh yeah. Can't say I blame you there, Ellis.
Hmm. Let's see. Oh, I told you about an event. This is YouTube related, where I before I go to sleep, I'm making my decisions about, what do I want to watch? Tubi? Do I want to put a disc in or whatever to go to sleep, or entertain myself?
Sure.
And I was just go with YouTube, see what's on there, and I ran into the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, you
The
told me that.
Yeah, well, I sent an email around, and I just wanted you guys to know about this weird adventure I took of running into the new feature film on YouTube and getting to watch the first 30 minutes before it went kablooey on me. Well, all of a sudden, it had just been gorgeous up until the moment they go into space to meet Galactus.
Oh
All
wow, you
the
did watch a lot of it.
Yeah, they were just launching, and all of a sudden it became real tight crops, and they weren't even crops that were from the center of the screen. They were like crops that may have started on the left or started on the right. You could tell that they just, for whatever they were based on, it was just all of a sudden just making it useless to try to watch it. And so I got out of it, but then I goofed around, watched other stuff, and then I said, I'm going to go back and see if I can fast forward past that rough patch. And then when I got back, and I went to the trouble of adding it to my entertainment playlist, it had eradicated it from my entertainment playlist, and it wasn't in my history. So whatever links they went to deal with that copyright strike of putting a large IP like that from Disney
Yeah.
Disney onto YouTube in that form. It's like they went after it. They used a disintegrator ray on that one,
Yeah.
which it's amazing though. But it gave me a little taste of the film. I realized, yeah, I do
I
want to
liked
watch
it.
it. Yeah, it was very charming.
I dug
Yeah.
it. I dug it, and I dug Superman. I don't know which one I like better, to be honest.
Hmm.
We watched Superman's on Max, and we watched Superman. Michelle and I did. She had not seen it. Now I took her to the theater and we watched Fantastic Four. But I will watch Fantastic Four again as soon as it's on. I like both of them. They're kind of different movies.
Hmm.
In retrospect, there were things I really liked about Superman, but I think I still like Fantastic Four better. Maybe I don't know. I need to watch it again.
Can you believe that old Gun, is you don't have to lose too much money before someone decides, you aren't in charge of our property anymore. and it sounds like Gunn's probably going to be on the way out.
Really? That's crazy because they were gonna. What did he lose money on? Superman didn't lose money.
Superman, it wasn't big enough. It didn't wow him. In terms of like us, it's got to make $1 billion for you. You feel like you're a winner anymore.
That is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Uh-huh.
Well, you haven't seen it, have you?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it has Metamorpho in it, okay?
Oh, wow. Well, that's the
Yeah.
deal. That's what's sad is Gunn is a comic book guy. These obscure little comics, he knows these comics.
Yeah.
That polka dot guy of all things.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but he knows who it is. He showed up in something like a Teen Titans or something like that he knew about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't. Well, and I haven't cared for Peacemaker.
Yeah, it's vulgar, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
And
and the
violent.
new one, he went to this planet or the alternate dimension, and everything was perfect. And then come to find out, it's like, oh, they're all right-wing Nazis.
Yeah, that sort of thing. A political
Which,
bent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that much, but it's just I don't care. I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want it. You don't want it in your face since it's not
No, I don't.
a big deal
I
to
don't
you.
care. I don't. Yeah, I don't. It's not compelling. It's not a compelling plot that I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. No, and what's funny is they know that everything that's in that movie ought to be in. If you're one of these guys that is strictly trying to produce a great story and screenplay, you should
Yeah.
know that everything in that thing ought to have to do with story.
Yeah.
The moment it veers away from having to not telling the story, it's not so good.
Yep. You're betraying your mission.
Yeah,
so
your core thing, what you're up to, is that story. Speaking of that, the other one, I mentioned La Dolce Vita. The other one I have over here, and I started last night, is The Best Years of Our Life. And I probably
Is
have
that
never
about the
seen it.
alcoholic? Are those people alcoholics?
No, this is
It's
all
about war
this.
then.
It's about three guys that just happen to learn about each other when they're having to, when the troops were being sent back from World War II. It was just a madhouse. There was just so many of them. These guys were going to have to sit around for a month getting, a flight back to the house. Well, a long time anyway, compared to what these guys wanted to be up to. They just wanted to go home.
They want to be home.
And so there's three guys that fly a B-17 back to this the same town, as it turns out. Well, of course, I mean, they're routed together because obviously they're headed to the same place. And so they get to know each other, and one of them has lost his hands, and they're using a real veteran that had lost his hands.
Yeah.
And the other one's Dana. Oh gosh, what's his name? I love him. He's good. And one of them is one of these guys that was in World War II, an older guy that only made it to sergeant, but was probably, kind of a great asset to have an older guy with all those young guys out there, and he's the sarge.
Oh yeah.
And they're all having hard times adjusting to coming back for all their reasons. Of course, the guy with no hands has it the hardest.
He's like,
But gosh, great storytelling. You talk about everything's in that story for a reason. That's the case with that movie. It's by William Wyler. Pretty great filmmaker. I think he did Wings. which is the first Academy Award winner or something like that, I think.
Oh, okay.
So he spans the. I think they called him Mad Dog or something like that. He was actually a World War One pilot. Unless I'm thinking of somebody else. Which is always
I wouldn't know the difference. So
yeah, it's always possible. Me and my trivia. There you go. You never heard that trivia, have you? I just made it up because I don't know what I'm talking about.
it happens.
Yep. It's fun to have this on. I should have been doing this some time ago, is to have this kind of delay appear on my screen while I'm talking to you. I can look up and see how things are going and all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of, have you explored much more about your YouTube channel? Have you got any things that you're planning on as a topic? I'll tell you what I've got in mind after you tell me.
I would like to do some on maybe a short on perspective, like a short on 1 point perspective. I think would do well.
I always click on people that are giving things about perspective. I tell you, the best one I've run across recently is
Mine.
I haven't seen yours yet. It's still in your
mine.
head. Yeah. Marshall Vandruff has got one that he's mainly using perspective as it relates to lens choices. You know, he's talking about wide angle and telephoto. And it's really, I have, and I've actually physically been in the same small room where he was basically, making money, throwing a mini seminar on perspective. And right away, there was this conflict where this woman kind of like felt like she ought to be kind of in charge of how the class was going. And if I remember right, she left. But anyway, I don't know. It was an early example of kind of Karen kind of behavior or something. I don't know. It was, before but anyway, it was one of those things. It was like in the Fullerton area, which is where he teaches regularly as a professor. But, it was good. Perspective. Vandra's hero is that guy that did Little Nemo. That artist,
Winsor
McKay, and he's got something right about that guy. That guy is one of those guys that's on a level of, if you want to mention the greats, if you want to say, nobody could be a draftsman like Winsor McKay unless I don't know, you were touched in some special way. But it was also about, just that ease with fantastic perspective that McKay had. The settings that McKay came up with were just completely awesome,
Yeah.
Complicated, little architectures and everything.
Yeah, and typically at unusual angles and,
Oh yeah, he was just spinning you in space all the time. Great stuff.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to that Vandruff perspective thing, because it is the best way to think, is to think about what is my eye doing here? What is my what do I want it to do? And it's like what lens am I choosing?
Makes sense. Yeah, send me a link. I'd be interested in that. Definitely.
He's a good educator. He's one of those guys that's, he and Proco actually get together and talk face to face. He's not just one of the Proco or instructors. He's one of the guys that, obviously, as an instructor, he knew Proco back when he was just coming up. He was teaching him. Probably mainly knew Vandruff from his methodically taught anatomy courses. That's probably his biggest thing he's known for.
Vandruff?
Yeah, Marshall Vandruff. I think he even got a shout out from Bernie Wrightson about his anatomy course.
Oh yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. Some of these guys would truck all the way up there to Cal State Fullerton and soak it up.
Well, Ellis, I kind of need to go. It's
Okay,
time.
54 minutes. That's plenty.
I need to go. But
Okay, I'm going to end the stream after you say whatever you want to say. Go ahead.
I'm done. I was just going to tell everybody thanks for watching. We didn't have any comments, did we?
I haven't seen any. Okay, we'll see you later.
Okay, see you.
Wait a second, let me end it.
Okay.